Leo, I'm live. Okay, hello, Leo. I'm very annoyed. I gave you a really reading, but Mercury retrograde is in full effect, and you know how it is. Once it uploaded, it was like dead silence. So now I am giving you a bonus reading. Let's see what's going on. I'm doing things a little differently this month because it is Mercury retrograde. I've been sick. And I have been working a lot of overtime. Really hope my boss doesn't walk in on me. But I wanted to do it for you, right? We start out with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles reversed is a lack of teamwork. It's feeling like you are not getting met, like people aren't meeting you halfway. Maybe you have to do all the work, or maybe kicking back. But I do think there might be something about you doing all the work, because I got that before you. I got that for you for a while now, of you taking on everyone's responsibilities and not delegating it. I also want to say, if you liked my previous Leo uploads, like this one again. Because I had to delete the others. We also have Temperance, so you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. Temperance is about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I also see Temperance sometimes as a Cancer. I heard it's Cancer, kind of like the yin and yang, and Temperance can be about recipes, so you could work in an industry of, you know, baking, the food industry, anything like that. I actually do know a Leo who bakes. She had a food truck. I know two Leos who had who are cooks. So you could work in the food industry, but this is something. This is an energy of moderation, right? Of not doing, not overstepping yourself. She has one foot in the water and one foot on land. Has little unicorns around her, and she's pouring a rainbow from one cup into another cup. And, you know, it's angelic energy, so angels are with you right now. We also have the High Priestess, so there might be something that you know in your heart, you know in your feelings, you know in your gut, but you're not listening to. But let's see the other cards. You could also be dealing with Pisces. The High Priestess is a Pisces for me. So we have Pisces, Sagittarius, perhaps Cancer. But, whoa, okay. So we have Death reversed. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. I actually see this as you not letting something die, like you not walking away from something, because next we have the Eight of Cups. So this is a resistance to change. This is a resistance to letting go of something that's just not working. It could be a relationship, could be a job, could be a habit of yours, like, you know, in this Mercury retrograde season, it's Aries season. And so all of the Mercury retrograde things I'm working out within myself are about how, like, the habits I make or the habits I've shown to others. It's kind of like this self-deprecating humor that I do. And you might do this too, Leo, because you're very funny. So, like, these jokes that you used to make for yourself, it's like they don't quite work anymore. You know, it's like if you have lost a bunch of weight, you can't make fat jokes about yourself, right? So, in this Aries season, I have been thinking about the, like, repetitive little, like, tics I do that just don't work anymore. So, I think you're going through that, but it might be, like, this snarky, like something you're doing that's a little like snarky and it just isn't working anymore. We have the Ten of Wands. It's about burdens. It's about almost being at the finish line. It's about taking on too much, right? It's about not delegating. It's about not balancing yourself, not moderating yourself. The Ten of Wands is a card about giving it to someone else. It's about, and if you have burdens that you know, are not tangible, right? If they're not like housework or chores. Maybe you have burdens in your heart. Maybe you have burdens on yourself. You know, these repetitive thoughts, these emotional habits that you've been taking on. You know, it could be like, he'll never love me, or, you know, something like that. So if you've been taking on these burdens, then what I would say, a way to delegate it is to give it to God. So a way to feel less burdened is to give it to someone or something that is higher than you, and so it's out of your hands, right? So unburden yourself with whatever like emotional and like monkey mind tricks you have, and unburden yourself in a way that you can give it to a higher power. I think I got that for you before too, so similar messages. Next we have the Hermit. The Hermit is on a spiritual quest. He's on a soul's journey. He is walking through the cold, dry desert in the middle of the night, and he doesn't know what's around him. It's very dark, and he can't see anything. All he's guided by is this lantern, so it's like this inner light, and like the North Star, right? Like the light of God. So, it's goodness. It's being it's going on a like a vision quest of sorts, and so we also have a butterfly here. There's a lot of butterflies in the tarot of the moon garden, but butterflies are, you know, all about transformation. They start out as a caterpillar, they cocoon, and then they eventually transform into a butterfly. And we have death here, and death is all about transformation, but there might have been some there might be some stalling going through that transformation. It's a result of and the Hermit is a solitary energy, so this is something you can't do with someone else. This is something you have to do alone. So if you are feeling like a lack of teamwork and you're going through this soul's journey that you can't really like delegate to others, then the transformation is going to come. The butterfly is going to come once you admit that something has to end for something new to begin, and realize that a lot of it is beyond your control. Next we have the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is a card about nightmares, anxieties, worries, doubts, fears, sleepless nights. So you could be waking up in the middle of the night, you could be having trouble going to sleep, and that's all a result of not being able to let go of something that needs to fall away. That wants to come out. We have the Eight of Swords too. The Eight of Swords is a card about feeling trapped. So the Eight of Swords, you know, here we see 8 swords surrounding her, and she's like, oh, go away. But it always reminds me of like damned if I do, damned if I don't. Like, I can't go that way or this will happen. If I go this way, then I'll have to, you know, take on this other problem. So it's a card about feeling trapped, but it's like no matter what choice you try to make, it's just like feeling immobile. And again, if you are feeling immobile, if you are feeling like you can't do it on yourself, do it by yourself, then unburden yourself by giving it to, you know, giving it to spirit, giving it to a higher power, and looking within, because this is all an inside job to me. And it's funny, I see the High Priestess on top of, or the Hermit on top of the High Priestess. So, you could also be dealing with Virgo, by the way. So, it's like you are on this soul's journey, you're on this vision quest, and I think you're seeking answers from people outside of you, and it's going to take going within, because, like I said, this is like not listening to your intuition, and this is all about trusting the light, trusting the North Star, trusting, you know, that which you can't see. We have the Nine of Cups reversed, and the Nine of Cups, you got this in the reading that crapped out because of technical difficulties. The Nine of Cups reversed, how I felt it for you was an excess, so drinking too much, eating too much. I felt a lot of you were eating too much, and it's a result of masking whatever is inside of you, because it's like you had the moon in the other reading, so it's kind of like this Eight of Swords. It's like feeling trapped. You didn't have all the information, so it's like in this time of waiting, in this time of transformation, right? This like cocoon period, you don't have all the information, so you're like covering it with, you know, it could be drugs, alcohol, sex addiction, shopping addictions, anything like that, anything in excess. And what I got from that was it's okay. You know, like, give yourself this little break. Obviously, don't make this a habit. And if you do have like an ongoing problem with any sort of substance, then nip it in the bud. But you know, I feel like until you get this information, it's okay to kind of indulge a little bit, but just be mindful that just be mindful to indulge in moderation, right? And to really look in. So as you are, you know, eating too much or whatever, make sure you take the time to be quiet with yourself, be still with yourself, and sort of ask yourself the hard questions. Kind of like a tough love with yourself. Be that friend that is going to do a lot of like pushback with you. And even though you might not be able to articulate it, just keep like talking to yourself, like asking yourself questions and talking to yourself like you would a friend. We also have the Page of Staffs, and the Page of Staffs is a girls just want to have fun. She's on a stripper pole. But it's your inner child. I think I got this message in the reading that crapped out, but it's like you're longing for the days of having fun. Like, I feel like you might be burdened by a lot of responsibilities and you miss being this carefree person. And, you know, going on this vision quest, going on this soul's journey has been a burden. You have a lot of, like, you're experiencing a lot of growth. So it's like you're kind of longing for, like, the innocent days. And I would say, as an alternative to this excess, this overeating, over drinking, over whatever, then replace one habit with a habit, like a fun thing you did as a kid. It can be as simple as like coloring, you know, like just do something that brings you joy and is going to elevate your vibration. And I think that's going to really connect you to your soul, to your journey here on this earth, and sort of get you more in balance, right? This is about balance and moderation. Thank you so much, Leo. I hope that resonated. I will see you in May. I can't believe it's May, and I hope this one recorded okay. It looks like it's doing okay. I wish you luck during the Mercury retrograde season, and I will see you next time. Bye.